What is going on? I hope you guys are having a great Friday TGIF. I know you guys excited for the weekend. You got to worry about work. And I mean, everybody, you know, work, everybody doesn't have the weekend off, but I'm so happy that you decided to join us. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Let's Face It live show with your coach, Shakima S. Perry. So I got a great topic on tonight. This month is marriage month. So my goal is to have married couples on each week. Not this particular week, but starting next week, we'll have married couples. Doesn't matter what year. It could be 10 years, it could be 5 years, it could be 2 years. However, we're going to just have a week of marriage, just basically breaking down topics that can help us as people that are not married or are desire to be married to kind of have some tidbits on what marriage is really about. I did this back back in season 1. I did a marriage week, and with the marriage week, it really turned out good. I had 3 married couples every day, not every day, but Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which was a lot of work. So I was like, look, I'm not going to do a marriage week, but I'm going to do a marriage month that I will have couples come in each week to just talk about topics on marriage. We need to hear those things. Some of us want to be married and some of us are not ready for marriage, so we want to get geared up. We want to be ready for it. So tonight we're going to be talking about marriage. Even though I'm not married, I kind of wanted to kind of get into identifying, like what do we think about it? What is our concept of marriage? Some of us are been married before, been divorced. Some of you guys never been married before, like myself. So I wanted to kind of get your opinion on what you thought marriage was. That's why I would love for you guys to interact and ask questions, and when I ask questions more so, but make statements on what you think about it, because tonight is really about really identifying, like, what do you think about marriage? What is your insight on marriage? What do you think is how it's supposed to go? All these different things. I'm interested in your opinion of what you think marriage is. So let's go ahead and bring up the topic. And tonight's, the whole purpose of this show also, Let's Face It live show, it's a show to bring resolution. So when you have questions in your mind, it could be about marriage, it could be about business, it could be about anything, right? So some of us have questions, right? So this show is here to answer questions that you may be thinking about in your mind. So tonight's topic is season 2, episode 55. The topic is, how do you identify marriage? How do you identify marriage? And hey, Nadira, she said, hey, says watching on my TV tonight because I am sick. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh my goodness. And you watch on your TV? That's kind of cool. You go on your TV. I don't know how to do it, but that's cool. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I pray that you feel better. Sorry that you're not feeling well. Thank you for joining tonight. And so season 2, episode 55, how do you identify marriage? So what is your insight on marriage? I know people, like I said, some people are divorced, some people never been married before. So how do you identify it? So I kind of did some type of breakdown of what marriage is not, and pretty much giving some insight on what I think. This is my opinion on what marriage is. And some of you guys that have been married before, some of you guys, I want you to chime in tonight because I want this to be interactive so you can give your opinion on what you think. Okay. And Nadira said, thanks. You are welcome, dear. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So this is what I have tonight. So I said, the topic says, how do you identify marriage? So let's define identify, right? The word identify. So I know y'all know it, but let's define it. So identify. So identify means establish or indicate who or what someone or something is. So basically, identify is trying to figure out, trying to identify, trying to establish, trying to get to know what something is, or have insight, right, on what something is. So that's what the word identify means. All right, so let's go into it. So I'm going to go into what marriage is not. What marriage is not. Okay. The reason why I want to touch that is because some of us have a warped perception on marriage, right? Some of us do. The way we view it is wrong. So let's go over what marriage is not. What marriage is not. So one of the things I came up with is marriage is not the wedding. Marriage is not the wedding. What I mean by that is sometimes people mistake a marriage to be a celebration, meaning that's the marriage. A wedding, well, I'm not going to get into the detail, but some people feel that marriage is the wedding. It's just the glitz and glams of that's marriage, the wedding, right? So that's not the case. Marriage is not the wedding, right? We're going to get into the what I think, right? Because this is, like I said, this is based on what I think. And I want you guys to chime in. Some of you guys are married. Chime in. Even if you watch the replay, chime in. I want to hear you guys. The next one I came up with, not only for security. So marriage is not only for you to be secure, like in a sense, what I mean by that, meaning I'm financially secure because I'm married. So like, say, for example, you're a woman and you marry someone that makes a lot of money. I am secure. I'm that it is security. That's just what marriage is. It's security. That's it. I'm not saying that is not a part of it, but it's not only for security. That's what I mean. So some people are like, well, I believe marriage is this. So I just want to make it clear. Not only for security, right? Another one I have, not an obligation. Marriage is not an obligation, right? So let's define, I just want to get into it. Let's define obligation. So marriage is not an obligation. So what is the word obligation? Let's get into it. So obligation. Obligation means an act or course of action to which a person is morally or legally bound, a duty or commitment, right? I think that's I see what it could be obligation. It is a sense of obligation, but it's not only an obligation. So I could say that. I must refrain those words. It's not only an obligation. So it does say duty or commitment, a morally or legally bound. So marriage is not only an obligation. That's what I'm going to say. So I have to make it clear because I'm still learning, right? Also, it says the condition of being morally or legally bound to do something. So morally, legally bound to do something, a debt of gratitude for service or favor. So it's not only an obligation. That's what I would say. I'm going to break that down. Marriage is not only an obligation. I'm going to put that. Only an obligation, just like it's not only security, right? Another thing, marriage is not for a green card. Marriage is not for a green card. Hey, Liza. Hey, she said, hey, sis. Hey, Liza, how you doing? So marriage is not only for a green card. Like I want to get married because I need to, get a green card to come in the States. Marriage is not for a green card. I know people are laughing at that because, it's true. Like, it's like, oh, it's a green card. I'm gonna get my green card. That's not marriage. That's not why marriage. That's not what marriage is about. Another one, not to escape loneliness. Marriage is not to escape loneliness. Okay? So if you're lonely, you don't get married because you're lonely. That's not the reason, right? So it's not to escape loneliness. Another one, the last one actually, not to just have sex. Marriage is not to just have sex, okay? That's like, oh, I don't get mad because I want to have sex. I want to do it the right way. I want to have sex. It's not just to have sex. Okay. I'm just being honest. And it's the truth. Okay. So that's what I came up with, right? That's what marriage is not. If you guys have some more reasons of what marriage is not, go ahead and put that in the comments. I can go ahead and go through those later. Put that in the comments as well. All right. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we get back, I'm going to give you my insight. What do I think marriage is? And I want you to add on to it. Say, hey, Shakima, what about this? What about that? Like I said, I want this show to be interactive. So um, I'm going to give you my opinion. I don't have a story because I'm not married, but I can give you my opinion, what I think marriage really is. Okay. So check out this commercial and we'll be right back. Purpose to Promise Academy, where lives are changed and dreams come true. Learn how to write and publish your book. Learn how to fix and manage your credit, so you can finally get the home of your dreams. Visit us at purposetopromise.com. All right, so we are back. We are back. So I'm going to give you my insight on what I think marriage is, right? I've never been married. So I'm giving you my insight. And some of you guys that have been married, please help a sister out. All right. So Liza said marriage is not to keep up with other people's appearances. Sisters or friends are married. I should be too. That is so good. That's a good one. Oh my God, it's a good one. Let me say that. Let me read that again. Marriage is not to keep up with other people's appearances. Sisters or friends are married, and I should be too. That's a good one. Liza, you hit that on the nail. That's a good one because people feel like, oh, because this one is married, I should be married. Or I want to keep up with the appearance of being married. Come on. That's not it. That's a good one. I really, really like that. But what I would say, what marriage is, like we talked about obligation and stuff. I'm gonna go into that, but marriage is a commitment. It's a solid commitment, right? Also, number one, let me go back. Let me back it up, right? Marriage, you get in a marriage because of love. Number one, you love that person. And not even only love, you in love with that person. You in love with them. You're not in it to just be in it. I don't know. It looks like the signal is not as strong. I don't know if y'all can see me. I hope y'all can see me clear. It looks like it's coming back. So it's love. Number one, that's the foundation of marriage. Marriage is only going to stand with love. Being in love with that person, right? Being in love, not just loving them. I'm talking about in love. In love, because when I say in love, because there's a difference between loving someone and being in love. Like I can love my sister or my brother. That's love. But being in love is take something special. It's like a unconditional love. It's a deeper love. It's a deeper love you have for that person when you're in love with them. It's like if something happens to them, you're going to be by their side. You're not going to just frumple and run. It's being in love, unconditional. Someone said something here. Tonika said unconditional love is required. Agape. Yes, agape love. The love of God is like you have to have the love of God for that mate, for that person. It has to be deeper just than saying, I love you, right? I love you. And you saying it and you really, at the end of the day, something happened, you out the door. No, it's a deeper, right? It's agape love, right? So that's the first thing. This is what I think. It's being in love with that person. That's number one. Number two is commitment. Being committed to that person, meaning you're not cheating on them. You're not looking elsewhere, because when you're in love, you're not going to be looking at other men. I'm talking about in a lustful eye. I'm going to tell you this, even though you can be in love with somebody, you may see someone that is attractive, but you're not gawking. Okay. That's a difference. I could see, like if I was with somebody, right, I can see myself, I may look at a guy like, oh, he's attractive, but I'm not gawking at him. I'm not gawking like, oh my God, gawking. Gawking is when you're just like you never saw anything good looking in your life. Like, calm down, right? Tonika said commitment, covenant. Yes, thank you, Tonika. Yes, commitment, covenant. It's a covenant. It's an agreement, commitment and agreement. I like that. Commitment and agreement. So you committed to that person. You made an agreement with that person. And then another thing I believe marriage is trust. You got to have trust in your spouse. If you don't have trust in your spouse, man, you're going to be looking at your spouse's phone. You're going to be like, is he cheating or is she cheating or this? You have to have trust. You have to have trust. Okay. Marriage is important. You have to have that trust that you have for that mate. Another one, right? A marriage, you have to compromise. Everything in a marriage is not about you. Everything that you want, you may not have everything you want in a marriage. Marriage is not perfect. It's like sometimes us as women, we have this fantasy of marriage that, oh, marriage is going to be this fairy tale, like the wedding, right? This fairy tale. And marriage is not, is a committed relationship. You trusting this person with your life, literally, and you're going to compromise with this person. You're going to compromise. You're going to commit. You're going to compromise. So certain times you may not get what you want. And you can't be a baby about it. You can't be a wimp about it. You can't be someone like, oh, I didn't get my way, like a baby. If you don't get your way, sometimes you just may not get your way. You know, it may feel a way. You may like, dang, man, I really wanted to do that. Or I really wanted to go out with my girls tonight. Or I really wanted to do this. I always want to do that. I want to do, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes your husband may say, no, I want you to stay in tonight. Tonika said, compromise, sacrifice, selfless. Thank you so much. She's break. Thank you so much. You breaking it down even further. I love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. So that is what it's about. You know, with certain things you're not going to get. It's like she said, it's selfless. It's a sacrifice. It's like we want to be married, but when it comes to that sacrifice, when it comes to that selflessness, we don't want that. We like, oh no, it's got to be about me. If it's about you, don't get married. Period. If it's all about you, don't get married. Okay, Tonika said, got you, queen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, if it's all about you, don't get married. What is the point? You could do bad all by yourself. Do you want a spouse that you had to argue with all the time because you want your way and you can't compromise? Come on. You gotta, that's why I talked about last month. Last month, I talked about self-love. Self-love actually prepares you for marriage because you start to love yourself, that you get into a marriage that you can understand how to love you and how to love someone else, right? Self-love is not about selfishness. It's just saying, I love myself. I'm secure in myself. And when you're securing yourself, you won't be insecure in the marriage, because that's another thing. Sometimes we get insecure. So we thinking the man is cheating on us and he's not. And then we lack trust. So that's what self-love, it builds us up to be mature, to be in a place of loving ourselves, that we can really properly love someone else, right? So we can be in a position to properly love. So that is what it's about. It's probably many other things. Thank you. Tonika said, you talking right. Thank you, Tonika. But it's like, that's what it's about. You have to be committed. And don't get me wrong, I've never been in a marriage, and I know marriage is not easy. I have seen, I've been around a lot of married couples. I have seen different things. I have seen different things that take place in a marriage. Some of it is good. Some of it is bad. I have seen it. Thank you so much, Tonika. Tonika said, forgiveness. Yes, you gotta forgive. You cannot be in a marriage and you holding grudges. And also another thing, don't bring up past stuff. Don't bring up, it's like when you get in an argument, you want to bring up what happened 2 years ago. Oh yeah, I remember when you did it. Don't do that. Don't bring up stuff. If you forgave that person, you should not even be thinking about that. That shouldn't even come in your brain. If that comes in your brain, sometimes you never really forgave. You never really forgave. If that comes on your brain, that what your husband or your wife did 2-3 years ago, that means you really didn't forgive. You gotta search your heart. You gotta pray about it. You gotta ask God to help you, because you should not be conjuring up stuff from the past. Don't bring it up. Even when you in a situation, and I know it's hard, even in a situation that you had your spouse cheat on you at one point, you can't bring that up every, like if you say, I forgive you, honey, I forgive you for cheating, and we're going to move forward together. This is my decision. Don't bring up, oh yeah, you cheated on me the last time. Yeah. And you don't do that. Because all you're doing is opening up wounds that's already been healed or trying to be healed, right? So you got to be loving, caring, kind to your spouse. You know, I know with me, I'm very jokey, so I joke around with people. That's just me. But when it comes to like being serious, being there for that person, that's my personality. Am I going to be perfect in a marriage? Absolutely not. I'll probably get on my husband's nerves. He probably get on my nerves, and we're going to deal with it, right? We're going to deal with it. Liza said, it is wise to wait and be in love with yourself first, right? Then you will know how to find that peace in any condition while being married. That is so true. A lot of times when you don't really love you, you start to lose yourself in that marriage too. So you get so attached to that person, and it's like, I can't live without him. I can't live without her, right? You're so attached that you start to lose your identity. So when it comes to you really loving yourself and self-care and taking care of yourself, you have a confidence that you don't lose yourself in that marriage. You don't lose your identity. You don't lose the purpose and plan God has for you in that marriage. So that's how I feel when it comes to that. All right. And there's some other thoughts I may think about later, but that's pretty much the foundation of what I think a marriage is. And other people was commenting and giving me more beautiful stuff. Thank you so much, guys. And I'm going to go over what we was talking about earlier. So we talked about what marriage is not. So what marriage is not. Okay, so we talked about the wedding, right? So some people think marriage is the wedding because people get so caught up in the wedding planning that they don't even understand what marriage is. Like they think marriage is the wedding, right? And marriage is not the wedding. The wedding is the celebration of that marriage, is the celebration. You're celebrating being with this person. You're going before God and you're celebrating. You're saying, God, I'm declaring this relationship between me and my husband, me. And then, you know, if you're a man, me and my wife, I am literally confessing in front of you and being licensed as a married person that I'm committing to this woman. I'm committing to this man, right? So that is what a marriage covenant is. So that's the celebration. That's what a wedding is. So don't get caught up into the wedding so much that you start to identify the wedding as a marriage. Okay? So don't identify the wedding as a marriage. The wedding is the celebration, right? The other one I have here, not only for security. So you can't get married because he has money. Oh, he got a lot of money, so I know I won't be well kept. You can't, that cannot be the foundation of your marriage. Love has to be that foundation. Being in love with that man has to be the foundation. So you cannot go based on only security. Oh, I'm secure because I'm financially secure. Oh, I feel safe with him. That's good. You feel safe, but are you in love with him? It was men back in the day I felt safe with, but was I in love with them? No. So that love has to be the foundation, not only for obligation. So you're not getting married just to be obligated to that man or be obligated to that woman. It's deeper. Like I said, love is the foundation. It's not an obligation only. Yes, it is an obligation. It is a commitment. It is you saying yes to this person. It is saying that, you know, for better or worse. Yes. But it cannot be only obligation. Okay. And then the third one I'm gonna go before I go to commercial break. Not for a green card. That's the one Liza I think laughed at. It's not for a green card. Okay. Marriage is not like, oh man, I want to get a green card. So you got some of these men. I mean, men from Africa, men from all these different places be trying to talk to me. And I'm like, I think they want a green card. That's what they want. They want to come to America because they want a green. Like, look, I'm not your green card lady. Sorry, bro. I'm not your green card lady. Okay. You don't get into marriage for a green card. You get in marriage because you are in love. Okay. Not for a green card. And Tonika said purpose. Yes, for purpose. That's a good one. Thank you so much. Tonika, you are really lighting it up. You too, Liza. Purpose. It's purpose, 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 purpose. You get married for a purpose because you have a call. You have a duty in marriage to work together in ministry. It doesn't mean that you may be a pastor. Some people are called to pastor together. Some people are just called to do ministry. It could be any type of ministry. It could be ministry in the marketplace together. It could be ministry in real estate because ministry is not only based in church. Your job is a ministry. Okay, because ministry comes from the word minister. You are called to minister to people. You are called to minister together in unity, purpose. That's what it's about. Purpose, right? So what I talked about, the green card. I'm not the green card lady. Thank you so much, Tonika. I'm not the green card lady. So don't get married for a green card. You got to be in love with that person. You got to live with that person for the rest of your life. Do you really want to be trapped in a marriage and because it's a green card? Now I know I actually know a couple that, fell in love and he needed a green card. He moved to the United States, got a green card, but she was in love with him. That's different. It's like, okay, I fell in love with this man and he needs a green card, but this is a real relationship. This is real. And they've been married for like, I don't know, over 10 years. So it's it got to be deeper, right? So I'm going to take another commercial break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about the rest that we have here. And I got something to share with you. I have a special promotion I want to share with you guys that you can get into. Okay. All right. So check this commercial out. We'll be right back. This was me fighting for my life. I lost my mind, but I did not know how to get it back. I had to step it up and fight back with the only strength I knew I had. Find out how it all turned out. Get your signed copy today. Go to GleeBargainCenters.com. All right, so we are back. Thank you guys for hanging in there. Y'all talking to me tonight. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you. I thank you for your support. So the next thing we're going to talk about is marriage is not to escape loneliness. Some people get married because they're lonely. And then they're in a marriage that they're not in love with this man or they're not in love with this woman. And because they're lonely. And you know what happens with those type of marriages? They're either distant marriages, meaning that they don't act like they're married. They're probably cheating on each other. Or you're miserable. You're together, but you're not together. It just doesn't work. Right? Because you just got married because you're lonely. I'm lonely. I might as well get married. It's going to end probably in divorce court because you're not really in love. I don't think that, okay, so I remember this pastor said, I'm going to say this. This pastor said, two things, the two biggest decisions in your life that you make, the first biggest decision is number one, giving your heart to Jesus Christ. That's a big decision that's important. Okay. Everyone, I'm sorry, I'm saying what it is. Everyone should give their heart to Jesus Christ, because if you don't, I'm not going to get into it, but if you don't give your heart to Jesus Christ, you will not see him in heaven. Okay. That's the first big decision, right? Number one is giving your heart to Jesus Christ. The second biggest decision that you will ever make is deciding who to marry. That's the second. So if you're going to have this, it's a big decision, a big commitment, right? You have to really analyze the situation and really be in it for the right reason, which is it being in love. You got to be in it for the right reasons, okay? So don't ever feel pressured because you're lonely to be in a marriage. And sometimes what happens is you're so lonely that you find yourself in a compromising situation, meaning you're having sex, premarital sex. So you feel like because I'm doing this, I should get married to this man. Don't do it for that reason. What you need to do, if you're not in love with him, cut it off completely. I know it's hard, but cut it off. It's not worth it. All right. So Jackie says, I used to be misunderstood. I used to misunderstand marriage. Some marriages used to get married as in a so-called shotgun marriage because the woman became pregnant, right? And their parents had thought it was the right thing to do as far as their old-fashioned mortality. That's wrong in front of our Heavenly Father. That's so true. Sometimes that's what parents do. They force their kids to get married. Get married. Get married. Get married. You got her pregnant. Get married. I know a situation like, I'm not getting into details, but I know personally a situation that happened. That the person really wasn't ready to be married, but because they was pregnant, the parent thought it was the right thing to do. I'm not gonna get into it, but the parent thought it was the right thing to do. So that is so true. You don't want to misunderstand it. Understand marriage. Marriage is a commitment. It's a lifetime commitment. Okay, which one we up to now? Let me get to it because I'm about to let you guys go tonight. Another one is not to just have sex. Don't get married because some people waiting, right? So Nika says marriage can be compared to how Christ loves church. Without Christ in it, it will not be fruitful and prosperous. Come on, you better preach that word, preach that word, preach. Let me stop. No, but preach that. That's it's true. Christ got to be the center. And also, what we were talking about, not just to have sex. And some of you guys want to wait for marriage. Now, some of you guys, I know I've been waiting for a long time. I've been celibate for 15 years, okay? 15 years celibate, okay? Never been with a man, right? For 15 years. I'm not a virgin, but I'm a born again virgin, right? So sometimes if you're in a relationship and you're so in love, you could be so motivated to get married because you want to have sex with your partner. And I understand that you could be hot, you know what I'm saying? But don't get married for that reason. Get married because you're ready to be married. And you can still be in love and not be ready. What that means is you have to give it time. You can be in love with that person, but you're like, I'm not ready for marriage yet. I still want to get to know him. I still want to get to know her. I still need that time. I want to go through the process of dating that person. Sometimes people jump into a marriage because they want to have sex so bad, right? Or they jump into a marriage because I love him. I'm in love. I'm in love. And that's nice and all, but really get to know them enough. I'm not putting a time frame on it, but I don't think a month is really going to give you enough information, okay? So give it time. Be patient. The Bible says be anxious for nothing, right? Be anxious for nothing. Don't just jump in a marriage because, oh, I want to have sex and all these different things. Don't be anxious, okay? Marriage is not about being anxious. Be patient. Be patient. Endure. When you date someone, it's not about, oh yeah, when we going to get to the altar to have sex. Talk about future stuff. Talk about what you want to do, aspirations, different things you want to do in ministry together. Those things you need to be talking about. Not, oh, I'm hot. No. Get your hot self together, okay? Especially if you're Christian and you're trying to wait. Wait on the Lord. Be of good courage and he shall strengthen your heart, okay? Wait, I'm talking about scripture now. Wait on the Lord, right? So I think that was the last one that I had there. But if you guys have any questions, put in the comments, or if you have any statements, put in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. If you have anything else you want to share, But, marriage is beautiful. Marriage is blessed. Marriage is loving. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I know people that are married, been married for 10 years, they love their marriage. Do they have problems? Yes. All marriages have problems, but it's a commitment. And when you're committed to something, you stick through it, through the thick and thin. Now, I would never say stay in a marriage, someone beat you upside your head. Don't stay in it because he's gonna kill you. I'm being honest. Or he is a I'm gonna say perpetual cheater. I'm talking about he cheats on you all the time. Perpetual. That's one thing if someone make a mistake. I really believe, me personally, if my husband ever cheated, I believe in one mistake. I don't believe in multiple mistakes. I don't. That's it. You got to go, brother. I believe in making a mistake and you messed up. I believe that can be worked out, but not a perpetual cheater. Okay. Not a serial cheater. He's serial cheating on you. Like every 5 minutes he cheating. My baby, I'm sorry, man. You need help. You got a sex problem. You got a lust problem. You got to get, I ain't messing with you. Okay. But, it's all about, having the right mindset, loving yourself, being confident, building trust with that person, getting to know that person, being in love with that person, being committed, compromise. It's so many different facets and aspects of marriage. And it's certain things I don't even know. Some things I'm going to learn along the way when I do get married. Okay. So that's pretty much it, what I got to talk about. I don't see any more comments in there. And I want to share something with you tonight, and I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for coming in. Y'all are wonderful. So I got something to share with you guys. I have a giveaway going on. I have a giveaway. So win a write, publish, and sell your books bundle. Go to bit.ly/book bundle contest. Book bundle contest. There will be only 2 winners. So I think it's only 30 days left in this contest. Okay. I will put it in the comments. I should have did it yesterday. I mean, the day before yesterday. I will put in the comments the actual contest. But when you go to that link, you put your information in, and also I do have, if you put more entries, you can actually increase your chances of winning as well. So you just have to follow the steps of the entries. So go to bit.ly/book bundle contest. Go ahead and sign up. So you may be the winners. 2 winners that I will announce in this next 30 days. So it's probably going to be sometime in August. The winner for this contest, that you get to learn how to write, self-publish your books. So you'll be a self-published author and sell your books, $3,000 worth of your books. Okay. This is there's $149 value. It's really $500 value, but I sell it for $149. So go ahead and grab that bit.ly/book bundle contest. I'll put it in the comments under this video so you can grab it. And the last thing I want to share with you guys. So if you're interested in being part of my show, I would love for you to be one of my guests. Go to purposetopromise@gmail.com. Email me. Let me know what you want to talk about. If you got a powerful story, you got a book, you got products and services that's going to help people, I would love for you to be on the show. I don't know when. It could be the end of the season or sometimes in the season or next season. But go ahead and email me. Let me know what you want to talk about. If it fits the show, I would love for you to be one of my guests. Okay. So pretty much we are done. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you love this broadcast. If you did love this broadcast, type love in the comments. I appreciate you guys. I will be back on Monday. So I don't know what day my guest will be on. So I think next week going to be a little different. I may have it for 2 days next week for the show, or 3 days. I'm not sure yet. But my goal is to get a married couple on one of the shows next week. So we'll be back on Monday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tonika say love. Thank you so much, Tonika. I appreciate that. You guys have a great night. I hope you love this. And what we going to do, what we going to do, what we going to do, let's face it. Have a great night. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.